What is going on, guys? This is Aaron. This video is going to cover more of the dark side of real estate photography. I've been shooting real estate photography in and around the Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas area for close to 3 years now. I have seen a lot of things. And while I can say when business is booming, the money is good. So take that with a grain of salt. There are a few things that real estate photographers encounter that a lot of people wouldn't in their normal every day-to-day life, and I will attribute it to a crime scene cleanup crew. We'll start with that. So I personally, in my years of doing this, I have encountered a few homes that are not great. They would fall into like the trap house category if you're familiar with trap houses or that meaning or something like that. I have shot a few crime scene houses where someone has either died or was murdered in the home and they don't want to clean it, so now it's being put up for sale. I also have had some encounters in homes, and if you don't believe in ghosts, that's cool. I get that. But I have one particular house I shot where I made sure every door in the house is unlocked to access the back property of the house. And every time I would walk outside, I would hear the door lock. Like I would hear it click and lock. And I'd have to walk around back to the front of the house, go back in. And whenever I would go back in, the door would be unlocked. So just to make sure I'm not going crazy, I went out a different door to the backyard, unlocked. As soon as I shut it behind me, I would hear it lock. And these are your typical keyed deadbolts. It's not automatic locks. And that particular house, like everything was left as it was. It was almost like a elderly person lived in that house and just left to go to the store real fast. Everything was there. Stuff was still in the strainer. It was crazy. That house was weird. I have goosebumps talking about it. It was a weird house. I've shot hoarders homes. There's two very distinct homes that I have videos of that I want to show you guys. The videos have been posted publicly, but if you haven't seen them, I still want to make sure that you see what I'm talking about. Now we'll start with this one here. This particular house was an electrical fire. So I have the audio muted. That way, it doesn't really get in the way. But this was an electrical fire that burned through the ceiling of the house, and burning insulation had fallen down into the front of the living room. There's a major hot spot right on the middle of the floor, which you can see here. Major hot spot. But where I'm trying to get to is I'm fairly certain someone died in this home. So this is, now if I pause right here, you can see the two eyes right here. Whew, boy, when I was reviewing this footage, I spent forever trying to see if this was a ghost. Not a ghost. There's actually a hole in the wall. But let's go, because there's a hole in the wall where the sunlight from here was going through. But I want to get to the other side of the house. This room right here, it had the least amount of fire damage in the whole house, the least amount. So it was the furthest away from the fire. But this room had Bibles placed in it. You can see one here. There's a Bible here in the room. And on the outside of the house, on this window sill, there's two more Bibles that were placed on it. So let's skip to outside, because this is where I go outside to show it. There's text over it. But there's one here, and there was another one on the ground. So another Bible. So that's a weird one, So that's one that I just couldn't explain personally. Never made sense to me. And then this video here, and when I say I see everything, this is a video I actually took my 360 camera and had it on a selfie stick, and I was walking through the house, and this whole house was condemned. The slab foundation was torn up in many parts of the house. There was a water main pipe that was broken. Garage was flooding. So I was just shooting this kind of as a teardown. And there's a particular room in this house that just doesn't make sense. And now this room that we're walking into, there is black mold everywhere. All of this is black mold. That's already bad. And that's me taking a picture and sending it to my management company, telling them that I probably shouldn't be shooting this house. In the very next room, now with this whole house being condemned and parts of it just breaking apart, this gigantic crack in the roof here for one, and the state of the whole house overall, this next room I'm about to walk into doesn't make sense. There's no power on in the house. This fan is running. All of this has been redone. This particular room is fully refinished outside of the carpet. I showed this video to several people, and we all came to the conclusion that this is very likely a predator location where people are hiding minors whenever they're being trafficked. In terms of a real estate photographer, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. It's not all $1 million mansions. There, for every one multi-million-dollar home that I shoot, I'm shooting at least 5 of the previous houses that I've showed you. You have to shovel through the crap to at least get the good stuff. Now, there are specific clients of mine that only have good stuff, and this one particular lady, her name's Stacy, she's out in like the Frisco area. I shoot a lot of her homes, and a lot of her homes are up there. And a bad house for her is your typical upscale suburban area. You know, like your single story, 3-bed, 2-bath, 2-car garage. The normal home for her is mini mansion or actual mansion. This lady gets crazy clients. But in terms of, just call it like photo mill operations, where you're just a shooter, you're not doing any editing, anything like that. You basically get an address, you go shoot it, you turn in files. That's the type of home you're getting, is the one I just showed you numerous amount of times. So it's very common. While real estate photography is great and it's easy money if you know what you're doing, there's a lot of stuff that people don't tell you. And that's what this video is about. I've encountered homes that were infested with bugs, rats, just shitty clients in general. Not shitty clients, but shitty homeowners, to where they thought I was going to help stage the house. Whenever I'm there to shoot the house. I'm not here to work for you. I take a pictures and send it to the real estate agent, and then she lists the house. So you need to make sure it's ready. They thought I was part of that process. I was not. There was one home where as soon as I opened the door, I was wearing shorts, and my legs are extremely white, like this white. Like I am pale. And as soon as I opened the front door of the house, I was swarmed by fleas to the point to where it was disgusting. I was trying to think of something that could be like super black freckled, like a poppy seed bun. My legs looked like the top of a poppy seed bun. That's how many fleas I got hit with. So again, you see all kinds, but the crazy ones that people don't ever really mention unless they're asked, and it's kind of like a, hey, have you ever had this happen when you're shooting a house? Haunted stuff, crime scene stuff. That's the craziest stuff that you'll come across. Now, it is off-putting and it is weird, and it's definitely, if you're not comfortable with that situation, I would not suggest real estate photography, just because you will encounter things that you cannot explain. There was one time where I went to turn on a light in a home, like your typical ceiling fan. I went to turn it on. Light bulb flew out of it. Don't mean fell. I mean flew. So there's some things. if you want to get into real estate photography, I recommend it. You'll have some cool stories, but you just need to be prepared. There is dark sides to it. It's a fun job, and especially if you have friends in that space and you can compare stories to other things that people have seen. But there's definitely some crazy stuff out there, you know, so just be careful, protect yourself, especially if you're walking into a space that you're not comfortable with and even unknown. I've had guns pulled on me because people forgot I was coming that day. I've heard stories of other photographers being shot. So you just have to be mindful of what your surroundings are. Be safe. Other than that, this was kind of like my dark sides of real estate photography that I wanted to share with you guys. So again, if you made it through the whole thing, I appreciate you. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more of the real estate style content. I know it's mostly games and stuff on this channel, but if you want to see more real estate specific things, leave a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. You have a good rest of your day.